but I wanted to welcome you all this morning to Unity of Little Rock. My name is Reverend Beverly Pryor, and I have the pleasure of being your Sunday host, but we have a special speaker, music, meditation, and I'll introduce Laura Lynn Danley here in just a moment. I heard some whooping, yep. So let's just take a moment and get centered in prayer. If you would like to close your outer eyes and just fully settle into your chair or wherever you're standing or wherever you happen to be in this moment. Together, let's take a deep breath in. A pause at the top and slowly release that breath. The breath connects us mind, body, and spirit. And it connects us one with another in this moment. Fully present and fully connected. We claim this time together this morning for the highest and best for all concerned, whether you're in this room, whether you're out there watching online or watching later. We include you in this moment, and we claim for each and every one of us. We've all come here, we've all shown up in some way, both to be a blessing and to receive a blessing. And for this truth of who we are in the world, we simply say, thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is. So I'm going to have to kind of step back and forth here so I can move the slides. So if you will say together with me our opening statement, there's only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good, the omnipotent. And that's the first of our 5 unity principles. Do we have anybody here for the very first time today? If you care to raise your hand or not, it looks like everybody's been here at least at some point before, so welcome back. And let's just take a moment. In Unity, you may or may not know, we were founded on prayer. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, who were the original organizers, they organized prayer circles because they wanted to teach people the truth of prayer, how your words and your thoughts and your actions are creative energies in your life, and that everything is a prayer. So we have a tower actually on Unity Village campus. Unity Village is where we used to have the ministerial school. Now it's primarily online, but we have a lot of, they're having conference this next week. They're having a lot of workshops and things like that. But there is a location there where someone is in prayer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, holding that high watch, holding that energy of truth for whatever prayers come. So you can call, you see here, you can go online to Unity Prayer, unity.org/prayer. You can call in. You can submit your prayers here in the prayer box, and then we will pray over them here locally, and we'll send them on forward. So let's just take a moment now, and whatever prayers, if you didn't have a chance to write something down, and I thought I heard it, you can just leave it. Leave the meeting. I thought it was all the way down. Sorry, that was me. As we were doing our AV checks. Yeah, that's my.
Beverly, and then I'm hearing Beverly.
Yeah, I had it
That's all right.
signed on to make sure we were all connected for whoever might show up on Zoom. Anyway, so whether you submit your prayers here or whatever, if you haven't had a chance and you have something on your heart this morning, just send it forward. Just put it out there, and we're going to be in that prayer consciousness together in this moment. So again, take that deep breath again and release, coming back to that moment of connection and that presence that we created the very first moment we joined together this morning. There are no degrees of difficulty in prayer. There's none too great or too small for that power and that presence in the universe that we name God. So in this moment, whatever your request might be, whether it's for relationship, harmony, wealth, whatever it is that you have on your mind today, for yourself or for another, together we're going to claim the highest and best. We're going to claim, regardless of circumstances, that we know that power, that presence, that force, that absolute good in the universe is working on behalf of your request. And we claim in this moment that truth prevails. And so it is. Amen. Okay. So, Miss Brittany is going to read. Just turn to the right page. Oh, yeah.
Hello.
You don't have to lean down. Okay. It'll catch you.
All right. I bless my Father with loving thoughts of gratitude. Today I bless my Father and the Father figures I have known with thoughts of love and appreciation. The man I call Father may or may not be related to me, but he has touched my life with love. I give thanks for those fatherly figures who have selflessly gave their time, love, and love to help me grow into the person I am today. Their demonstrations of patience showed me how to give others space and time. Their humor and lightheartedness taught me to not take myself too seriously. Their guidance and trust encouraged me to be independent and trust myself. I would not be the person I am today without the lessons of love and wisdom shared by my Father. In so many ways, he gave me a strong foundation on which I built my life. I am grateful and blessed with all he has given me. Honor your father, Matthew 15:4.
So have everybody say the affirmation together, if you will.
All right. Would everybody please say the affirmation with me?
It's her first time.
Yes. So I bless my Father with loving thoughts of gratitude.
Thank you, Brittany. That was great. That's not an easy thing to do, and a lot of people just say no and won't step up and read the daily word for us. So it is my pleasure, my privilege, and my absolute thrill to introduce you. You probably know Laura Lynn Danley. However, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about her, and I have it written down so I don't make things up. Laura Lynn Danley has her master's in social work and is a licensed clinical social worker in private mental health practice since 2010. She has studied the art of sound healing with a Mayan elder, Don Miguel Angel, for more than 15 years and has completed the 4 Winds training to become a full mesa carrying shaman. So you'll get the power of that today. Laura is also a singer-songwriter. She is a singer-songwriter and formed the musical duo Tenpenny Gypsy in 2017. They have released 2 full-length albums and have been recognized by the Arkansas Country Music Awards with 7 nominations. And in 2023, they were awarded for their singer-songwriter showcase, Sounds of Unity, which they often offer here in our location here. And Laura is excited to be sharing with us this morning. She is going to give you music, meditation, and the message. So, full-hearted, full hands, let's give a big Wow, I sound good. Hi, everybody.
It's good to see your faces.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Betty. I thought I was going to start with a song because I have an invitation for you. Oh, we've already moved on to the topic. The cookie dough of life. Does that sound tasty for everybody? Yeah. So I will be talking about the cookie dough of life and how to harness the power of our imagination this morning. And adding to that something that feels important to me, because sometimes we're having a hard time doing that, or we feel like we're not creating what we want to out of life. And so I'm also going to give you some tools to blast those barriers in your life when you're not getting exactly what you want. So we have been studying the 5 principles of unity. So I wanted to go over the first 2. I think it's good to review. And so let's look at the first one. Did Russ present on both of these, I think, the last couple of weeks? And so the first principle is there is only one presence and one power active as the universe and as my life, God the good. The second principle, our essence is of God. Therefore, we are inherently good. This God essence was fully expressed in Jesus the Christ. I think he had, there might still be papers on your tables that kind of go through the principles, and they're expressed different ways at different times. So I don't think he used exactly that wording last week, but talked definitely about the essence of God being within all of us. In fact, I think he shook up our worlds for some of us because he said, I am God. Some of us have gotten into those conversations. It's like, anyway, but that's not our topic today. So today, the third principle we're looking at is we are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. So that's what we'll be talking about this morning. All right. So we are going to go ahead. We're going to give you the invitation before we do a breath. That's, as Beverly mentioned, I've studied with a Mayan elder for over 15 years. Working on a book with him called, I probably need to turn this off. Yeah. You got it? Oh, great. And the title of the book will be Healing, Handbook of Healing with Mayan Mantras, Restoring Balance and Harmony to Our Lives. And I took Brittany with me to Mexico, and we came close, but if you don't already know, I didn't, wherever you want to take this thought, it's like we got home, and 3 days after we got back from Mexico, a tornado hit my neighborhood. So it's been a year of recovery. And but this is an invitation to you to let go of the limitations in your life. And just kind of join me in a playful, I want today to be playful. That's wild and free. Ooh, ooh, I know your world, sometimes it seems dark and dank. And you All right, well. That was fine for me, but I'm going to teach you a breath that's actually kind of grounding. Maybe we should have done that first. And I want you to see the words, because most of us are nervous if we can't. I need to see things in my mind to know that I'm going to say it right. So these are Mayan expressions for the heart of the infinite and the heart of the earth. And I'm going to teach you how to bring that energy. So does anybody in the room know what a tube torus is? Yeah. So there's like this tube that runs down the center of our spine, this space. And what I want you to do, and I'm going to invite you to go ahead and close your eyes. And I promise we'll play again when we open them. Go ahead and close your eyes and just imagine there's a tube running from the top of your head all the way down the center of your spine, and it extends down into the earth, kind of rises up into the heavens as well. And I want you to imagine as we say this, and you're allowed to peek if you didn't see the words already, and I will say them to us before we get started. I want you to imagine that there's this golden light streaming from the heart of the heavens, the heart of the infinite. The Mayan word for that is Yokolkan. And we're going to draw it in a breath as we say Yokolkan. I'm going to invite you to say it with me. I think there's just that much more power in it when you speak the words. But if you're not comfortable with that this morning, then just receive the sound of the words. And we'll draw that in from the heart of the infinite, Yokolkan, here in just a minute. We'll bring it through our heart of hearts. The Mayans call that Halashwanik. We are truly true humans. Here in our heart of hearts, we connect the heart of the sky to the heart of the earth, Yokolkab. And so we'll draw that in here just in a moment, Yokolkan, through our heart of hearts, expressing it into the earth, Yokolkab. And then I want you to imagine on that in-breath, you don't have to speak the words at that point, you'll draw up all that rich goodness from the earth, all those minerals and just the fire from the fiery core. Grandmother Shmukane is a word the Mayans use for grandmother who sits at the fiery core of the earth, surrounded by jaguar, balam. So we're going to drop all that and feel free if you want to express anything you want to let go of and give to that fiery core when we do the breath. You can send it down there, and you may already be following your breath, and that's great. So go ahead and just take a few easy breaths, and then we'll get started with the actual mantra, Yokolkan to Yokolkab. Let's take 3 easy breaths. And we're going to start with imagining that golden light coming in from the heart of the heavens, Yokolkan, gathering in our heart of hearts and traveling down to the earth. Starting now, taking a little gentle breath. Yokolkan. Follow that breath all the way down to Yokolkab. Go ahead and draw up a breath from that fiery core, the center of the earth. Allowing that to travel up to the heavens. And taking down another one from Yokolkan. Heart of the infinite, just gathering up all that love, sending it down through your body, through your heart of hearts, and down into Yokolkab. Mother Earth, thank you, thank you, thank you. Go ahead and just draw up that goodness from Mother, bringing that breath back up through the body, sending it up into the heavens. We're going to do one more, bringing down that golden light through that tube torus to the center of our bodies, from Yokolkan, heart of the infinite, through our heart of hearts, to the heart of the earth, Yokolkab. Yokolkan, 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 Yokolkab. Just take just a moment to just notice what you're experiencing in your body. We'll talk a little bit later about the inner judge that pops up in all of us that wants to comment on what you're experiencing. And if that's there, just notice it with gentleness, tenderness. But hopefully that's not what's there right now, so just notice whatever is, whatever's showing up. Yeah. Take your time and just gently bring yourself back to this room, sounds around you. And when you're ready, just gently blink your eyes open. The soft gaze, just orient on your surroundings. We are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. I think that is the third principle, another way to state it, isn't it? Yeah. So, that's so gentle. I want to go two different directions. I want to kind of bring some music back in, and I want to share with you, obviously, all about the cookie dough of life. So, we're going to do a song. So, actually, I want to mention with the I've got both microphones going probably, but it sounds like you're on it. With the cookie dough of life, I mean, what do I mean by that? There's this invisible substance around us. You can call it the cookie dough of life, and what's really important is to recognize it's neutral. I want you to grab a hold of the word neutral today, okay? Because we have this superpower. It's our imagination. And we can create anything we hold in mind. Now there's passing thoughts that we have that we can, if we don't like what we're thinking, we can kind of imagine they're just floating on by in a cloud. And those won't stick in mind. We can just let them pass on by. Sometimes I have this image in my head of a plane carrying one of those banners, and I just project onto it what I don't want to hold in mind and let it fly on by. So, I was teasing with Beverly that I was going to not quote you, but share that I know with Beverly and Russ, they come up here and they have so much to share, and I've been wanting to share for so long that the mind goes in at least five different directions, probably 7. The Mayans have a sacred 7 number, so. And I'm remembering some conversations we had last week about talking about the shadow, so we are going to talk about when we're not getting what we want from life. When it feels like I've been doing my affirmations. I did Louise Hay affirmations for 30 days. And I've been told, science tells me that if I'll do something every day for 30 days, I'm going to form a new habit. Well, when I was done with that, did I wake up the next morning and everything was unicorns and rainbows? No, not necessarily. So I just tell you a little bit about myself. I so much want to honor the fathers in the room today. And if you haven't been a father, I've never been a mother, so I want to honor those who maybe haven't had any children and just acknowledge the divine masculine within you. I can. Back behind the wall there. Yeah, and I told Beverly, I said, she said, do you have any songs about fathers? I said, I don't. I haven't been able to tap into that music yet. Because I use the word my own father was a bit of a rascal. And that's kind of putting it kindly. We have a better relationship. He has passed on and is in another dimension, another experience now, and we can talk freely, and he knows I haven't lost my mind, and I'm not practicing voodoo or witchcraft. Oh, he knows all is well with my soul. And so, let's pause with that. One thing I want to do, when I lose my track, because there's so much going on in our minds, I'm going to teach you one of the tools right now. When things are going, when they're just, all of us have that. Some people call it monkey mind. You get a bunch of different thoughts going at once. You're not sure quite how to slow yourself down, slow down the frenetic mind. So, actually, go ahead and put your hand on your heart. That's one way to calm ourselves down. It's just to be present to your heart center. Yeah, and stay there as long as you want. keep your hand there throughout this talk if you want. Whatever comes up for you is what's meant to surface today. If there's some healing that needs to happen. You know, my roommate Brittany, and she gets to see all the best and the worst of me, so we had a tear fest a couple days ago while I was getting ready for this. Some stuff needed to come up and out, so let's go back to the idea about the affirmations. So we were talking about the affirmations, and I did those for 30 days, Louise Hay, and it was powerful. It replaced some of the thoughts I have. I think part of what I started to say, besides from my father, I learned to doubt myself. And I learned to distrust the humans around me because I thought they were going to be harsh, that they weren't going to want to embrace me, that they were going to want to tell me how to do things their way, you know, so I would feel wrong about that. So I have some of that language within me still. Y'all probably can relate to that. You know, you might wake up in the mornings are my challenge. I don't know if it's my coping tools that I have and all that I've done over my life as a mental health therapist, as a shaman, as a sound healer, as a songwriter and singer, all those tools I have, yoga, everything I've studied, there are mornings I wake up and those aren't available. And there's something else running in my mind. So for those 30 days, the affirmations were great. They took the place of that. And like I said, on the other side of that 30 days, that wasn't necessarily what popped to my mind when I first came up. So I have a friend, Karen Channing, and I haven't put her information on here, but last this year, Karen Channing wrote a book called 365 Days of Doodling. And she has a video from a few years back in 2018, and I've been toying with whether or not I'm going to use this word, but I'm quoting her. The title of hers was Affirmations versus Bullshitting Ourselves. Thank you. We need to laugh, get some levity in there. It's like, can I say that here this morning? Absolutely. Yes, yes. And so in those moments, here's an important thing I teach when I work with my clients. One of the best cues that you can get to know what's really going on with you is to check in with your body. Your body is not going to lie to you, is it, Travis? No. Yes, so if I'm saying an affirmation, and I want you to think of one this morning that you say to yourself, or you try to say to yourself. Now, I thought when I started affirmations, that affirmations were for the purpose of changing my thinking. So if I can't say, I love getting up every morning and looking myself in the mirror, and celebrating my body, and something in me goes, oh, no, I don't. You know, I thought if I said that over and over, that I would start wanting to get up and look at my body in the morning and say, I love you, body. And that might not be one of the ones that I say bullshit to, but my body might contract. If I don't agree with what I'm saying to myself, I'm probably not going to be able to sustain it, right? So Karen helped me with this concept that I can still affirm. Start with something you do believe, and again, tune in with your body. And so I can say, I'm going to use a different example because we'll come back to the body one. That's a little harder for me. I have everything I need. I have everything I need. In me. That's working, isn't it? And if you've done any affirmations, that might have been in the list of affirmations that you're doing. And go ahead and say that to yourself inside. It's like, I have everything I need, and hear what your body says. Does that feel true? You can tell us out loud if you want, but you don't have to. I have everything I need. And you'll notice whether your body says, yeah, that's true, or I'm not sure I believe that. So what do I do if I don't believe it and I'm trying to practice affirmations? I'm trying to create more of what I want in life. Come back to this for just a minute. There's a reason we chose that image. This being a superpower, our imagination. We talked about letting thoughts you don't want go, just pass on by on a cloud, or like that plane was dragging by. If I hold on to something, if I give it definition, if I get really descriptive with it, I am creating a pattern. I'm creating a cookie cutter. Y'all can see that, like it's like a little man sitting on a side. And if I take that cookie cutter, remember our cookie dough of life, that invisible substance around us? If I imprint it if I imprint that thought, that form into the cookie dough of life, I'm going to get back the form of what I've been holding in mind. Now I can say that because I've tested it. I worked with Felicia Searcy for years, a life mastery coach, and I knew that I wanted to focus on my music. And in fact, I have a gift for the fathers today. And again, you don't have to be a father. We'll give to the divine masculine. And I think because I wasn't here for Mother's Day, I think everybody deserves. So I brought some CDs with me, and you can have this free gift today, a gift of my music. She helped me dial in. I'm a poet, I'm a writer, I was doing music, I was doing sound healing, I wanted to write a children's play, I had all these things going on. And she said, Laura, let's dial it down. Let's choose one and get really clear on what you would love. Feel that. That's something you can feel in your body as well. I would love to share my music with the world. We started in a local studio, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was happening. Justin Patterson, if you know my music partner, I'm pointing at the camera in case he's watching. Pam's like, is he here? Where is he? I call him a nickel's worth of 10-penny gypsy. We met at a songwriter retreat many years ago, about 15 years ago now. And we were Justin Patterson and Laura Lynn Danley sharing as songwriters. And we were invited to go to the Shrimp Festival in Gulf Shores, and I said, you know, if you were going to choose to go to the sound stage, because there was 2 of them, and you can decide which one you want to go to, and you're trying to decide if you're going to go hear Justin Patterson and Laura Lynn Danley, and you don't know who they are, or 10-penny gypsy, who would you go to? There's something in a name. So that was something else we held and we worked with for a while, and I have to admit, he brought the name to me and he had to convince me. I'm like, you gotta tell me what it means so I can feel some connection with it. When I share the story, I can be excited to say, why are we 10-penny gypsy? We're not 10-penny nails, right? Isn't there a 10-penny nail? Yeah. And he said, he knows me well enough to know, like I said, I gotta have some feeling, some reaction, some emotional response to it. My body's gotta respond. And he said, we still believe that we live in a world where kindness, we can count on the kindness and compassion and charity of relative strangers or strangers. We hope we're never down to our last 10 pennies, but if we are, we know we can count on others. And so that's where 10-penny gypsy came from. So holding that in mind, yeah, Pam's wearing one of the t-shirts. Holding that in mind, we created 2 albums. So I was talking about, we were in, and this isn't a story I planned on sharing, but like we said, it's all perfect. We were here local. I had a friend who had a studio and he was running a special. So I was still in that state of mind where it was like, well, I can only spend this much, you know, and he's running a special, so let's go try him out. And so we went and we recorded, and we had a friend who plays mandolin, and he came in and played it on. It was all beautiful, but it was like we were all separate. There was no cohesiveness to the music, you know. It was beautiful, but it wasn't warm. And so we looked at each other and we said, you know, we've been making music our whole lives, and we were ready for something more. We were ready for a whole different fit. And we took it to Anthony Crawford, finished the story up kind of quickly, who he and his wife, Savannah Lee, Sugarcane Jane, were top of the Americana charts in their state at the time, and I think nationally even had some songs up there. And Anthony had toured with Steve Winwood, Dwight Yoakam, some names you know, some names you don't, and Justin knows this whole history, so I'm breaking on. There's one of those really big concerts where you could tune in from London or Chicago or all these different places, Live Aid maybe, and he was just a perfect fit for us. So we took our music to him and we said, hey, we want to work with somebody who really knows how to bring our music to life, and that was the birth of 10-penny gypsy. So I think I told you that story because I was using this at the time. I used it for my home. You know, imagine what would the house, at the time I was renting an apartment, what would the house that I love living in, what would it look like? What would it feel like? Is there a yard or isn't there? Is there a deck? Now mine, you won't be surprised, there's 3 levels of deck. It's like an amphitheater because I meant to have music there all the time, and then 2020 hit, so we'll get back to that. I wanted a studio in the backyard where I could share music, where we could share healing tools. Brittany has joined me since then, and you can see her for some Reiki and some sound healing as well, and myself up there, you know. Room for people to gather, where we could have retreats and so on. So I'm telling you all of this again to let you know that I have tried this concept of holding a thought, getting really specific. She had us write it out in great detail and rehearse it every morning and every night. Go over it and over it and over it, and it came to be. Okay? The one thing that hasn't happened yet. Now, there were no Arkansas Country Music Awards when we got started, but on my list was I wanted a Grammy, I wanted Emmylou Harris. Anybody know her?
Yes.
To sing, I have a song actually called Come Dry These Tears, my one and only country waltz, but I thought she'd be great singing it. So I'm like, I want Emmylou to sing this. So I don't have a Grammy yet, but the year we released Arkansas Country Music Awards had their inaugural year. They had never before had an award ceremony. Now, I don't know if that lands for you or not, but I was, at that time in my life, I was like, what? So we've never had awards before? Because here's the piece I want to move to today. And y'all feel free to move around. I appreciate that you're laughing. If you get uncomfortable, there's water, there's food, there's beverages, there's bathrooms back there. I can sense people, and sometimes it's like if you're on your bottom too long, you need to. So why do I not have everything I want in my life? Why do I not wake up every morning and just... There's something about Brittany, when I see her, I want to be that. I just want to be all the time. Like, hi Brittany, see my house, beautiful self. See me shining brightly. She doesn't always get that.
I've seen my coworkers do it, and now see you doing it, it's a whole other level. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Most of us want people to see the best in us. And one thing we're probably not going to get to today, David, so I'll touch on it, is one of the works that I do with my clients is shadow work. And he's like, well, what does that mean? It sounds kind of... And I make sure they understand that I mean, shadow does not mean wrong, bad, evil. It means that there's parts of us sometimes that are hanging out in our unconscious. I mean, can we change anything we're not yet conscious of? Can we take responsibility for it? No. So, if we've imprinted on this invisible substance, we brought back the form of something, and now we get to look at it. Do I like it? Do I love it? Do I not? Do I want more of it or not? And remember, this substance is neutral, so if you can remember that in practice, there's not judgment attached to that. Okay? That's important, because sometimes we get back something, or we don't seem like we're creating anything, or we're still, I started to share about my father and my mother. My mother has bipolar disorder, and you know, I'm grateful I haven't had to deal with that in my own life, but I have had to deal with depression. So I wake up in the morning and those depressive thoughts come in first. So sometimes that's what I have going on, and after all these tools I have, why am I still depressed at times? Why am I having that negative thought? Tools. When that happens, when we're not getting more of what we want, when we feel like it's not all rainbows and unicorns, not that I can promise it ever will be, can we start with the hand to the heart? Can we soften our gaze upon anything that's showing up? Can we just be tender with ourselves? And David, we'll talk another time. I'll do a talk maybe at some point about the shadow. It's like when those aspects of us come up that seem heavier, you know, I mean, we might use the word darker, I don't know, I guess they feel negative. It does feel negative to me. I want to be positive all the time, but it doesn't happen that way. But I get back to that positivity, if that's the word I want, or at least to self-love, and if I can be tender, if I can be soft. Now, I'm going to say real quick, because you wanted to know about shadow. In Romancing the Shadows, one of the tools I use, it's a book, and the authors talk about King Arthur's table. And so they invite you to imagine that you hear this voice in your head say, oh, I'm gonna throw up while I'm standing in front of everybody today. I'm gonna be so confused or so excited, I won't make any sense. You bring that part of you out, like at the table. And I think the reason they used King Arthur is everybody was equal. Nobody mattered more than anybody else. The king didn't say, take that anger and get out of here. You know, he said, bring your passion. And you're welcome here. Every part of you is welcome here. So that's the idea of the shadow work. Okay. So last thing I want to share in terms of tools is, let's go back to the affirmations. So if I'm doing affirmations and I'm saying, I have absolutely everything I need, and I don't feel the truth of that in my body, how can I change that statement? Okay.
Need less.
What's that?
Need less.
I didn't go there, but why not? I can learn to need less, maybe, but where I went was, I have everything I need for today. Give us this day our daily bread. Can I, and if I say to myself, I have everything I need for today, does that feel true? And if my body's still resisting it, I have everything I need for this moment. And if none of those affirmations work, use the word willing. I'm willing. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to, I don't know if I'm willing to need less. No. Thanks, Travis. No, but I am willing to start noticing what I do have in my life, what needs are being met today, what I do have an abundance of. And if abundance is too big of a stretch, I'm already throwing all these other words on it. But I am willing. I'm willing to go back to the mirror real quick because I said I'd come back to it. I am willing to recognize that I am lovable. At whatever size I am, if I'm dealing with my weight. I'm willing to change can work for any of the affirmations. I'm willing to notice again. I'm willing to again, just notice the ways that people support me. Believe that I'm loved. So willingness is the other thing. If all that, you can't dial the affirmation back far enough, then I want you to go ahead and just use willingness. All right, and I know Russ got so excited last week that we went to a Lenovo's meeting. I don't know if y'all want to do that because we got food, and so we're going to see what the next slide is. And I actually have one more song for you. Let's do that first, and then we're going to actually use a Louise Hay affirmation, and we're going to say it out loud together. I told you I couldn't cross the center line. I started getting feedback. Woo-woo. So I actually wrote this song as a ballad, like a lot of my songs used to come to me. And we took it to Anthony Crawford, our producer, and when we got done, he said, I was wondering how I could make this song better, or something like that. I was like, oh, such a pretty song, what do you mean? He said, let's speed it up. So without Justin Patterson here, I don't know how fast I'll play it, but the ballad, it was, and I think everybody can probably relate to these words. You know, I spent most of my life trying to be right in somebody else's eyes when I was never wrong. I'll tell you the lyrics before I sing them. Trying to be what you wanted in me when I was perfectly imperfect me. So I think there's a slide where you'll see where to find our music, Tenpenny Gypsy. So tenpennygypsy.com, there's some great music videos on there, including this one. So this is called Perfectly Imperfect. Spent most of my life trying to be right when I was never wrong. Trying to be what you wanted in me when I was perfect. imperfect me. No need to find the key to unlock what was already free in me. No need to find the missing pieces, because I'm already perfect. That chorus again, you know. No need to find the key to unlock what was already free in me. No need to find the missing pieces, because I'm already perfect. I'm perfectly, I'm perfectly imperfect me. See, apparently when I'm speaking, I can't sing the high notes. That's okay. Every time I do that song, it's different. It's imperfect, which I think it's meant to be. Every time I sing that song, it's meant to be imperfect. So, I think this is the beginning of their quote, and I invite you again to say it with us. I think when we say words out loud, they have a bit more impact. They might land in your body. So Louise Hay, we're going to start with, the power that created us has given us the power to create our lives. We can choose. There's more. Is to flow through me, and the creativity of the universe now expresses through and as me. I added the as me. Don't you think that's accurate? A little bit more. That which I need to know is revealed to me, and whatever I need comes to me. I am divinely protected and guided, and my way is made smooth and easy. I don't know why I'm laughing at the easy word right now after what we talked about this morning. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not so easy. But I think Miss Beverly's gonna come join us, or are you gonna sit? You're done? Okay. I think so. That's what the thank you is, I think.
Hey, well,
Take my tea. I could have said, hey, I want to tell 5 more stories.
you would, and I think we would have sat here hanging on every word, right? That was amazing. So let's just really give in to this applause. Laura Lynn.
She's doing.
Yeah.
And I love you.
You're welcome to stay up here, and you should have been up here while all that was happening, but that was for you, all of that.
I received
Because
it.
sometimes we're a little too polite. We're like, oh, that was nice. But, you know, you gave it, you left it all on the stage, if we had a stage. But thank you for that. It was beautiful and inspiring and touching and hit on all the notes that we needed. So you see here, and we'll put this up at the end as well, but if you'd like to reach out to Laura Lynn for, if you want to talk to her about any mental health issues, she's available. She is a trained professional. But if you just want to enjoy the music, she mentioned the tenpennygypsy.com. She offers meditation. She mentioned her YouTube channel. She's got music and meditation. We'll see one of her music videos here at the end. But, and you know, she's here on Sundays often, so you can always just say hello. And here's her phone number.